Hey, good morning, everyone. Testing if everyone's able to hear me clearly. Hey, Christy. Nice to see you. Hey, Joey. Nice to see you too. I can see you sending in your request already. Good stuff. Yeah, just let me check something, all right? Display capture. Let me add in my display captures. Okay, cool. Hey, Aubrey, nice to see you. Okay, we got Renatux. Right, Renatux, nice to see you too. Thanks for tuning in from Lithuania. Right, my Melbourne trip.
Hello there. How can I be of service?
My Melbourne trip was amazing. My Fibonacci. Okay. Yeah. I'll touch on the Fibonacci series in a bit. Right. I think my Melbourne trip was great. I wonder if I got some pictures somewhere. I might have some pictures somewhere. Yeah, I might have some pictures somewhere. I need to go find them later. But yeah, the trip was pretty great. Melbourne's freaking cold now, right? Yeah, I think it's like close to winter time now, so it's so cold, right? But we had a farm stay, right? So stay at a farm, right? I think it was nice for the kid to be exposed to like playing with chickens, goats, sheeps, right? At such a young age, although he was scared of all of them, right? Yeah, but it's still pretty fun. It's still pretty fun. I need to see if I have the picture somewhere. I think I do. Just let me see. Is that a video? Oh man, I don't have it downloaded on this computer. Yeah, I think I don't have it downloaded on this computer. Oh, I do. Do I? I don't have the one with him with the chickens. Right, if I did, I share with you guys. That's pretty cool. I think this picture probably summed up a lot of my let me show you guys. This picture summed up a lot of my what happened. Let me open it. Yeah, I have this picture over here. It's quite a nice photo. Hey, how do I bring it on top? How do I bring this picture on top? Oh, okay, I know I need to slide out here first. I need to slide out over here first. I'm not sure if you guys can see this picture. Yeah, over here. Okay. This picture sums up a lot of our trip, right? He'll just be trying to run away into the distance, right? I'll just be at the back giving up, right? Giving up, chasing him, right? Just be running away every time. But yeah, the weather was great in Melbourne, right? It was very fun, right? Just chasing him around everywhere. I think this is one of my one of my more favorite pictures. Yeah. Yeah, everywhere. Okay, yeah, sorry. Won't digress too much. Let's stick to the webinar today. Yeah. Right. Yeah. For everyone who was asking, I did enjoy Melbourne. Yeah, I feel like I need a holiday from the holiday. Because it was so tiring. It was just me and my wife. So didn't have any extra help, right? So yeah, it's you usually can count on your parents to like, take care of them for a while, right? So you can get a break. But wow, it's full on, man. Okay, right, up down. Nice to see you from Sweden, right? Yamilu, nice to be back, right? Okay, we got Daria asking, where's the Fibonacci series? I think it has something to do with the disclaimers, the specific disclaimers that were used. So IC Markets had to take down some of the webinars, but don't worry, because we are going to do another Fibonacci series, right? Explaining everything about how to do Fibonacci. Okay, it should be done in that webinar should be in the month of June and July. We'll be covering quite a bit of the Fibonacci series. I think a place that you can go to check out what is coming. I remember I scheduled it for this June, right? You can go to more. It's been a big request from a lot of people for the Fibonacci series because it has been taken down. Oh man, why is the why is the upcoming webinars showing this? Okay, I think the upcoming webinars they're probably sorting out the page or something, right? But the yeah, they're probably sorting out the page or something. But we have the Fibonacci series slated to start in June, so do keep a watch out for that. Okay. Now, all right, let's get started in today's series, right? I might need to pause this webinar for about 1 minute later. Lusayo, thank you very much. Right, yeah, I might need to pause it for 1 minute later, depending on my battery life. Right, if I don't have enough battery on this MacBook, I need to basically unplug my mic, right, and plug in my charger. So you might, I will give you guys a heads up if that happens. All right, hopefully that doesn't happen. Right, something cropped up, so the charger didn't work overnight. So that's just a heads up if it comes to that. All right. Now, all right, pre-market life analysis, right? This is, welcome to a pre-market life analysis, right? Where we look at what's going to happen for the week ahead. We focus on the fundamentals and the technicals. Every week, same time, same place, you'll be here. If I'm not here, one of my team members will be here. But this is one of the most important webinars that you should be looking at for your week, because it sets you up from a fundamental and technical perspective for the week. If you guys have some feedback on how you found the last two webinars from Keaton, who covered me, right, please let me know. I'll also be glad to know if anything can be improved, right? I tasked him to handle the webinars. I think he did a pretty good job. And if you have any feedback, please send it directly through to me, right? Yeah, it's nice to see you too, Daria. Okay, but yeah, so let's begin today's session. Always remember disclaimer that everything in this video is educational in nature, so nothing should be construed as investment or trading advice. Please do your own due diligence before you guys trade, all right? Now, the few key things that we'll be focusing on, the key news events, I'll mainly touch on the key news events, right? Those that are worth really looking at. Then I'll look at the analysis on the majors, right? Then there is the custom request, right? So if you have requests, I think Joey already sent NASDAQ and WTI. I will take a look at them. So sending your request nice and early, so I'll be able to take a look at them. All right. Now, for those of you guys who are here for the first time, introducing your host for today, right? My name is Desmond Leong. So I run the award-winning research firm Average Fortune Group and also the Forex Army. Finalists of 2019, 2020, 21 for best FX and best equity research. Work with many of the major financial institutions, but you have a special partnership with IC Markets where we're bringing you guys the good stuff, the juicy stuff, the stuff that take a trading to the next level. All right, so you want to follow me on Instagram, you can follow me on Comfy Desmond, right? Nothing that much Forex-y there, right? Besides the occasional one or two posts, most of the time it's just pictures of my cat. I'm not sure you can see her down here, right? Maybe she'll do a guest appearance later, right? Yeah, but most of the time it's just pictures of my cat and pictures of Lucas and Leia, right? Okay, you know, find out some of the cool indicators I built. Most of the side project, you can find it on the Forex Army. Okay, we got a lot of requests on Eurodollar and gold. Nick, I'll check that out. Okay, I'll check that out. I'll probably it was on hold for a while. I will go approve the whole bunch of requests. I know it's a lot of them coming through, so but don't it's not open to the public yet. So I will just privately approve that. Okay. Now let's let's begin today's session, right? So usually for the this upcoming yes, so usually the place you can get the webinars is on IC Markets webinars, right? Is this link over here, right? Let me see, maybe the EU site will be working. Now, I think GoToWebinar is a little bit messed up. This is the link. This is the link, but it's not working yet. I think it's being updated. It's probably at the start of the week kind of thing, right? So they're updating the webinars for next week. So please be sure to check that out. Okay. Watson, nice to see you back. All right, I got a request for Aussie dollar coming through and dollar yen. Okay, now the place that I go to for the news, Forex Factory, right? We got a few key ones that I want to look at. ISM manufacturing, ISM services PMI, right? We got RBA cash rate. So just to break it down for you guys, I think I actually, I actually created a nice little summary and stuff for you guys, because some people, when they're referring to the YouTube recording, right? Sometimes they do request that what's the word for it? That there is actually a slide for them to refer to for the fundamentals, right? So the key thing to take note of, right? Yes, that the non-farm payroll, right, exceeded expectations. 339 new payrolls added in May. So this is that happened last week this week on Friday, right? Just 2 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago, depending whether you're in the Asian time zone or not, right? So that's the biggest news announcement, right? Unemployment rose to 3.7% in May, higher than the expected 3.5%, right? So, but actually, it's worth taking note that, this unemployment rate has been fluctuating between 3.7 and 3.4 since early 2022. Right, average hourly earnings increased by 0.3%, and the key thing is that the market expect the Fed to pause interest rate changes at the upcoming meeting. Right, we've been having rate hikes and rate hikes and rate hikes. So now the market is expecting the Fed to pause interest rates changes. So this is what happened for last week, right? Yeah, it's thank you, Christy. Yeah, spend a bit of time putting in this summary. Okay, then the few key things that I want to touch on. The first one is ISM services data for May, right? So it is this one. It is this one over here, right? So if you go to Forex Factory, it's this ISM services PMI. Every time you want a little bit more information about it, you can click this little thing, right? It explains it a little bit more in detail for you guys, right? The key thing to take note, right, is that a reading above 50 indicates expansion, while a reading below 50 indicates suggests contractions, right? The expectations for this release is that it's still going to be 52.6. That means there's still further expansion in the services sector. It's the main economic driver of main ongoing driver of economic activity in the US. All right, this is so a good amount of volatility we can expect on Monday. Otherwise, I think for the whole of today, right, because there might be a little bit of volatility around this bunch of PMI releases over here, but otherwise you should not be seeing much until the ISM manufacturing PMI. All right, Tuesday, RBA cash rate statement, all right, cash rate. Okay, this one over here, all right, 6th of June, Tuesday, RBA announcement. All right, so the RBA basically decided to pause the official cash rate at 3.6 in May, right? They kind of surprised the markets by increasing it by 25 basis points to 3.85. The markets is pricing in a 40% probability that there's going to be another 25 basis points rate hike, right? So it should see raise to 4.1%, right? So this the overall consensus on the market is that the expectation, right, is significant compared to a week ago, rather a little bit of a week ago, when the chances of an OCR increase were much lower, right? So people were not expecting it at all. So take note of that. Wednesday, I want to run through the key few things for you to take a look for, right? Same thing on Wednesday. Come down here, right? The key thing we want to look is the Bank of Canada rate statement, right? Or rather overnight rate. I think the key thing to take note is there's a 60% probability assigned to a pause and 40% chance of a 25 basis point hike. So if you're on the side of probability, it's a higher chance that it's not going to change. Okay, so if there's a change, then take note. We'll see how this correlates with our dollar CAD idea later. Okay, and the last one is the US unemployment claims, right? So the US unemployment claims, as you can see over here, this on Thursday, 229,000 compared to 232,000, right? That means the forecast is that we expect more people to be making unemployment claims compared to the previous round. So what that basically means is that the number of Americans filing new claims, for unemployment benefits should increase from 232 to 239,000. You think about that, right? That it basically means that more people are unemployed, right? So this could be an early sign of cracks in the US labor market, could have implications for the broader economy because higher unemployment claims, it's just one of the things that signal a weaker economy, which can lead to lower demand for the US dollar, right? So this is just it's just one angle for it, but please take note for it, okay? Now let's go to the charts, my favorite part. So I won't be reviewing the analysis from last week and 2 weeks ago and 3 weeks ago because I was in Melbourne, but I will be going through some of the key setups that I think is worth looking at. Okay, I go through some of the key setups that are worth looking at. First one is definitely Bitcoin, right? I actually like Bitcoin and crypto. I don't want to see the how do I hide the watermark? Yeah, there we go. And I don't like the grid lines too. Don't really want to see the grids. Oh, can I just click none? Oh, I can just click none, right? Yeah, I don't like to see grids. I feel like it gives you a false idea of like being able to structure the market in some sense, right? I prefer a clean chart, right? A really, really clean chart. So one of the key things that we're looking out for Bitcoin, descending resistance line, as you can see over here, right? First resistance, second resistance, and overlap. I'll highlight the key levels for you, okay? Just let me make a copy of this. Just make a copy of this so that it's easier for us to see. I can just play around with this. So first thing I always like to do, right, is to remove the grids. Sorry, I just need to remove this stupid grids again. Okay, key overlap, right, over here. Why do I call that a key overlap? Why do I call this a key overlap? It's because what you want to look out for is this kind of big movements, right? I'll try to teach you guys as much as possible here too, right? You're looking for this kind of big reversals, right? It looks like price is bouncing just slightly above it. So in this kind of situations, a lot of people do ask me, like, how do you determine the support and resistance level, right? What I'll do is I always look even before Fibonacci. Even before I draw the Fibonacci, guys, I will look for the support and resistance levels. The graphical levels are the most important ones first, okay? Right, because Fibonacci is used to fine-tune, right? And that's how we get so accurate with our forecast, right? But even before Fibonacci, we need to use support and resistance, okay? And a lot of people draw the support and resistance wrongly, okay? So support and resistance and correlation, those are few things that I'll probably be telling you guys to focus on. Okay, one major support over here. So what I then do is that if there is a level that's close enough, like over here, right, you can see, I'll just highlight it, right? So there is clearly an area of support over here. If not, price wouldn't be bouncing off. This area. Okay, this forms the key lower limit of what I expect prices to be, right? Because it forms a major support. I would then fine tune it a little bit. Maybe I draw Fibonacci retracement from here to here. I always begin with this thing called all Fibs. So I have all the Fibonacci over here, and I realize that the two key ones that are most relevant, 50 and 61. 23 and 38 has been broken, right? You can see that if this is my starting point, this is my ending point, right? So my Fibonacci is drawn this way. The moment price comes down and breaks the 23%, it's broken, right? If it comes down and break the 38%, it's broken. It's not valid anymore. And what I do when the Fibonacci is not valid for your presentation and for your analysis, you just remove them. So you notice that I have a few different, a lot of people do also ask me what are all these things here. I have all the different permutations. So in this case, I want to focus on 50 and 61% retracement. What I'll do, I'll click on it. Bam, 50 and 61. The moment I click on it, see, you can see it filters down to these two key Fibonacci retracements. All right. So 50% retracement in line with my first support and my second support down here, right, where price might drop to if it breaks this first support is down here at the 61%. Okay, now let me just check my battery, right? I got 15% left. At the 10% mark, I will have to do a swap and hopefully everything will be okay, right? So descending resistance line over here, okay, descending resistance line. Right, so that sets the squeeze. I know that there's a little bit of a squeeze, and now I know that price is being squeezed between here and here. Okay, if it breaks this level, it will drop down to here. Now, rather it could drop down to here. Okay, so that's a key level. So that sets the momentum. So you roughly know how I'm doing this analysis. All right. So once we find support, we need to find resistance. Right. I noticed that there's a nice bit of resistance over here. Right, first resistance. You notice there's a nice bounce over here, followed by a nice reaction. Okay, so this would form the first resistance. If price were to rise up here and break this, where could it rise to? Right, it will likely rise to this level over here. Right, so second resistance. Second resistance will be up here. Personally, for me, you know, you could get away with just putting it over here. This would be a good enough second resistance. You don't need to play the move too far away. Right, this could be a good enough second resistance already. Okay, so take note of, right? Take note of this. How do you determine where price is gonna go, right? So every time you do analysis, you're gonna find support and resistance, support and resistance. Okay, and the key thing is correlation. The key thing is correlation, and the key thing is keeping a lookout for my battery. Okay, so next thing I look at is Ethereum. So what I do want to establish on Ethereum is this movement. So you look at Bitcoin. It looks like it's being squeezed over here, right? It looks like it's being squeezed over here. Your first resistance is here. Your first resistance could be over here, right? Depending on how sensitive you want the analysis to be, right? But what is worth looking at is that for Ethereum, right? Ethereum, I'm just going to remove these things over here, right? There is this line over here. And you can see price has made a bullish breakout. Okay, price has made a bullish breakout over here. And if you draw the line very carefully, right, very carefully, I think it's over here. Oops, wrong line. There is this. If you ask me, what is the hardest part in drawing support and resistance? What's the hardest part in doing analysis? Is drawing the correct support and resistance level. Some people will put it over here. Nothing wrong with putting it down here, right? Some people might put it like what I want to tell you guys to do once we set up. I think once we have maybe a place for us to discuss more trading ideas, is that when you draw a support and resistance line, right? When you draw a support and resistance line, I want you to don't just put the starting point in the middle of nowhere. Don't just put it over here, right? Don't just put it over here. Because when you put the starting point, the emphasis is on why do you put the starting point at where it is. In this case, if I put a starting point here, it's because I am referencing this as my main point. Okay, this of course is a key support level for you guys to refer to. Right, you can see a lot of price reaction around the area, but the key support level is actually, it's a little bit hard to see, but it's over here. Okay, the key support level is over here. A trick is actually to toggle to, I think it's to a line chart. Okay, even a line chart is probably not that smooth, right? You can see a lot of reactions over here, right? This is what I call magnetic level. This is where the bulls and bears are fighting, right? And price has finally crossed over that. It made a bounce of it, and it did a bullish channel breakout. There is still the overall kind of momentum that is pushing prices up. So there is a likelihood that we might be seeing a bounce on crypto, and that, in some sense, I mean, last time Bitcoin was the main thing that so-called the leading so-called instrument, but now Ethereum could be as big a leading indicator, right? So in this case, you know, there's a pretty decent chance that if I were to forecast this, I'll be looking at a little bit of a bounce, probably until here, you know, where the big reaction occurred previously, right? So we could be seeing a bit of a bounce from price to come up towards this level. And in terms of, you know, how low can it go, this would probably be my next support level. Okay, this will be my next second support. There are no good support and resistance indicators out there that draw, but if you search for best MT4 support and resistance indicator, right, the Forex Army, I created one over here. You can go check it out. I think it's one of the best ones out there, right? A little bit biased, but obviously it's not endorsement to go get it or something. But I've coded in a lot of my logic into that, so you can go check it out. Best support and resistance indicator on Google, #1 search term over there. Okay, I am going to, you can see my battery is like 10% now. I'm just going to do a quick swap. Okay, so bear with me for a while. Okay, bear with me for a while. Let's see how this happens. I'm just going to need to unplug this. Give me a second. Tell me if the audio is still okay, guys. Okay, I just need to unplug this. Testing. Are you guys able to hear me? Is the sound echoey? Right? I mean, is the sound okay? Is the sound clear now? I'm just checking with you guys. Okay, so the sound is clear, yeah? Okay, cool. So the MacBook, it is fine. Sounds like you're in the airport. Just checking if everyone else, right? Is the let me see the audio input. Properties. Crisp. Let me try this. What about now, guys? Is the sound clearer now? Sound is okay now? Everyone can hear me? Okay. Nice. Okay. Good stuff, good stuff. All right, let's rock and roll, guys. Let's rock and roll. Okay. Right, okay, great. Now I don't need to keep perpetually being worried about my dying battery. Okay. All right, so yeah, so this is the key thing to look out for, right? You need to find the support and resistance levels. I mean, I try my best to even create an indicator out of this, right? Which can give you a little bit of an idea, but the thing is, I want you guys to train it yourself, train your eyes to be able to see it, right? Because it's one of the toughest things to do, right? Every time when I'm training my analysts, right, the big debates that we always have is around the how we're going to draw the support and resistance levels, and right, how you can draw the Fibonacci levels. Okay, those are the two big things that we always have a lot of debates about, right? It's one of the toughest things to draw, and a lot of people think that Fibonacci, yes, Fibonacci gives you a lot of the good levels, right? It's a good forecast, right? But being able to draw the support and resistance levels and being able to correlate it is where a lot of the secret lies. Okay, guys? Now, the main thing that we want to look out for, DXY, I'll let you guys know what's my key view on DXY. Okay, DXY, you can see that there's a nice little descending resistance, right? Price has been reacting, right? And then it has been reacting over here. I will tell you for one that I do not really like this trend line, okay? Because a trend line, right, even though the theoretical definition of a trend line is that, yes, you need at least 3 touches of the trend line, right? What I don't like is that there was such a big space between here and the next one over here. So this doesn't look like quite a nice trend line for me. What a nice trend line will look like, I'd rather it have like 1 touch over here, 2 touch over here, 3 touch here, and a 4th touch here, right? But because it's like this, like this, like this, I don't really like the trend line that much. It fulfills the theoretical definition. The price is continuing to lower, drop a little bit lower, but I don't, for one, fancy it too much, all right? So DXY, the view on DXY is not as clear, right? It's not as clear. There's a major support over here. There's a major resistance over here. This is not up for debate, right? So I'm just going to remove everything here. Major support, as you can see over here, about this level. You can see price bouncing off this level multiple times in the past. Very clear, okay? Major resistance, right, is over here. This is where I draw the major resistance, okay? This will be my major resistance. Okay, first resistance over here, my first support over here. Okay, so this is what I usually do first. I define the range, right? This is my resistance, this is my support. What can I tell from within here? Okay, I would then try to fine tune it. Could I drag it all the way back to here? Technically I can, right? If you look at this, right, why I like this level, you're trying to find levels where price react and respond to very nicely. Can you see? You look at the way price responds to this level. Is very nice, right? It touch and go, touch and go, touch and go, right? If you move just the resistance, maybe up to here, maybe put it over here. Let me see. Maybe if you put the resistance over here instead, over here, you notice that it might not be that nice. You know, price just kind of cuts through it too much. It cuts through the body of the candles a bit too much, right? You can look at the way that price reacts over here. Right, so I won't be able to say that this is the major resistance. I can say that this is a very strong resistance over here. Sorry. This would probably be my key resistance level. Yeah, this is the 1 day time frame. Okay, so this more or less sets your expectations for the week. Big resistance up here, big support down here, right? This trend line that I drew earlier, I'm not too big a fan of it. Because if you just tweak it a bit, it can be up here, tweak it a little bit lower, it can be down here. Not too big a fan of it. Major resistance here, major support over here. We are a little bit in the middle of nowhere, right? There's this thing that I want to take note of, right? Fibonacci projection. I think the 100% projection is right about there. Okay, so you got a nice 100% projection, you got a nice first resistance up here. So we have a little bit of limited upside on the DXY, but then we'll probably be capped by the big movement over here. We'll probably be capped by the big 105 level over here for us to take note of. Okay, if price were to break that level, how high could it go to? Draw a big Fibonacci down here. All fibs. It needs to break the 38%, and it probably needs to break the 50%. But I like the 50%. Can you see? The 50% comes all the way down to here. Very nice 50% resistance for me to look at. Okay, this definitely a key level. Okay, this is definitely a key level. Okay, so second resistance, first resistance, support. In terms of other support levels I can find, I honestly find it difficult to find another support level. There's no really nice support level that I dare to draw over here, right? So if I have to squeeze out an intermediate support, right? If I have to squeeze out intermediate support, maybe I can't confidently squeeze out an intermediate support anywhere, right? There's you notice I'm trying to draw the line anywhere, right? I can't put it here, not that nice. You know, look at all these previous lines, right? Nice touches, nice resistance, right? All very nice. But if you're looking for like any other line in between over here, I can't really put it anywhere, right? So that's how you know what are your key support and resistance levels. Okay. Now let's go to so this roughly, right, for DXY, expecting limited upside potential before a reversal, right? Reversal of this area, I would probably highlight this area, this resistance area over here, over here. Why I'm expecting this? Because that there is price tends to be attracted to major levels, right? I call these magnetic levels, right? And there's a decent chance that price will be attracted to this first resistance. Okay. So what you see on dollar index and what you see on euro dollar, these are two they are negatively correlated. Okay, they're negatively correlated. Okay. Now, I will highlight this key thing for you because it forms a lot of our basis, right? The key support level that you want to look at. If you want to know how to draw, right, I will show you a good technique. You draw at the most recent, very, very clear level. This is a very clear swing low, right? This is a very clear swing low. You can then drag it back further. Okay, it's still all right here, right? Drag it back further, you're like, it's not looking that clear anymore, right? If you drag it back here, look, the markets are not responding that much to it. So in this example, the furthest I might drag back is until here, right? Because you see how price did a nice little spike up here, right? But I'll probably just put it over here. Here or here is fine. So you know when you're doing your analysis how strong this level is. A key thing to take note, the further back price can be drawn to relevant levels, the stronger it is. Okay, the further back it can be drawn, the stronger it is, because that means it's using more of history to back itself up, right? If price is not that great, right, then maybe it's just a recent swing low. People ask like how strong is this level? This level is as strong as a recent swing low. But if I were able to drag this back all the way back to like a big level in the past, then when you look at it, then you know, oh, this level that Desmond is referring to is a major level that stretches back, you know, a couple of months, a couple of years, right? So how far back you draw a line, you roughly, at first glance, you would know how strong it is. Okay, so yeah, first support over here, right? I'm going furthest can draw back is here. So you look at it, how strong it is, not that strong, right? It goes as far back as here, but that's about it. Okay, resistance level, how far back can you draw one, right? Nice resistance level over here. You can probably draw it back and get away with putting it over here. Can you draw it back further? No, right? I can't even bring it back any further. You know, if I bring it back to over here, doesn't look nice. So I just put here as my big resistance level. Then I see if I can fine tune it a little bit further. Well, the levels kind of suck, right? It is very similar to what we expected on DXY, right? DXY got a little bit up, then come down. Euro dollar has a little bit, you know, it's likely to drop that a little bit further towards here before bouncing up. Okay, what is on euro dollar side is that it does look like it has a little bit of a bearish breakup of this channel, right? And let me see, yeah, it has crossed Ichimoku. These are two things that I want to highlight, right? It has crossed in terms of momentum to take it all the way down to this level over here, right? It has broken out of this trend line. Again, I don't really like this trend line too much. 3 touches here, 1 touch over here, right? And it's crossing below. And this nice little bit of Ichimoku cloud, it has crossed below too. All right, so we have at least a correlated view here that euro dollar and dollar index, the view is not as clear. All right, it's not as clear as other times where it's a key level. It's very likely to have a big reaction, right? in this case, it's less clear. And I think, oops, not the, yeah, I think this level is a little bit less clear, right? And in terms of the Fibonacci levels, you can see over here, right? I think, yeah, it looks like it's starting to break the 61.8 Fibonacci retracement too. So there's not many other Fibonacci retracements that can catch it as it drops towards the first support, right? Now, but if it breaks this first support, nice level that it can probably come down to is probably over here. This would be the key support. Okay, I'll definitely be looking at this if it breaks, comes all the way down to there. First, yeah, these are levels. Okay, now let's go through pound dollar. Okay, so this very long line. Let me just show you how important this level is. Okay, so same thing. Let's draw the support and resistance levels. Support level over here. How far back can I draw it? I can link it down to here. Okay, could I draw it back further? A little bit hard to argue that this is a nice level because price is just cutting through it, right? You can see price is just like cutting through it over here. It's cutting through it over here, right? So in terms of support level that we can look at, maybe, right? Maybe up to here. Now, in terms of resistance levels, how far back can we draw it? Okay, one resistance, I drag it further back to over here. Very nice. And then I zoom out a bit, right? It can come back to here, even nicer, right? It can come down to here. A little bit hard to argue that it might come to here, but this big level over here, right? This big level over here. Now, if you go to one time frame higher, you can already see it, right? This is a trick, right? You just go one time frame higher. I just jumped to the 1 week time frame, right? You can see price did a nice big bounce over here, right? Nice big reaction over here, nice big reaction. So this is clearly the big resistance level. You could technically drag it back further to here, but I think this would be enough. So we know that this resistance level is so much stronger than this support level over here. Okay, this resistance level is so much stronger than this support level because it's able to be dragged so much further back, as you can see. Right, it's able to be dragged so much further back than the support level. Now, we go into daily time frame over here. Okay, so what can we expect? And let's see. Not much of anything over here. The movement isn't as clear. Pound dollar, I wish I can say, you know, we have a very clear movement somewhere. This should probably be intermediate support. Right, levels are not that clear. And one of the key things that I like to one of the key things that I like to say is that you never try to squeeze out a setup, right? So this one probably not, right? I probably stay away from it. I mean, if price comes to this resistance level, you know, it'd be nice to sell, you know, but whether it comes up to here is another question, right? Whether it comes up to here is another question. So you look for a reversal of this resistance. Very, very nice resistance up here, right? But otherwise, I can't really see a nice level to trade from. Okay, no nice level to trade from here. Now let's go to something that actually has a nice setup. Dollar franc. I really like dollar franc because you go into the weekly time frame. Okay, so probably not weekly time frame. Yeah, you can see that there's already a very nice resistance over here. Right, very nice first resistance over here. Okay, price has been bouncing off this level multiple times, as you can see over here. How does that look like when you translate it to a daily time frame? Right, you can zoom out and you can see, right, it looks very nice, right? Price has been reacting off this level multiple times in the past, right? It's probably one of my nicer setups I'll be looking at this week, right? So this has been a clear level of interest, right? Big resistance levels, as you can see, big resistance levels. price has now finally pulled back to it. Very decent chance that price might make a reversal from here. Okay, so this would probably be one of the nicer setups for the week. In terms of Fibonacci, right? In terms of Fibonacci, right? Nice 50% retracement that it is testing over here. It's testing the 50% retracement, as you can see. Nice little bit of resistance, right? So we could see a reversal from here. I think in terms of the big picture, like it could be the 23% retracement that it's testing. Yeah, I can see shorter time frame is 50%, longer term time frame Fibonacci retracement all the way from up here, right? It is testing the 23%. So if it's not able to break past this, there's a very decent chance that we could see a drop to this support down here, over here, right? And if this is the key thing, right, that means DXY, we can expect DXY to drop, right? We can expect euro dollar to bounce because they're all correlated, right? So the key one that we'll be looking out for, I think dollar franc would give us a lot of the key, the hidden view of the market, right? Is that we should be, or we could be seeing a nice little bit of a reversal from the resistance to support over here. Okay, and now Aussie dollar, not that great. Not that great. I think the key support level that I highlighted is over here. No, sorry, this is dollar yen. I won't waste too much time on this, right? You can see price bouncing off these levels very nicely, right? And it's finally crossed that level. So we should be seeing price rise up quite nicely to this 61.8 retracement over here. Okay, we should be able to see price rise up quite nicely to that level. Okay, now guys, we got a question. Is it better to get in after a breakout or retest? It depends on your trading strategy, right? Usually I wait for a retest. If you're really looking to predict a breakout, you have two orders, right? One is to I usually wait for the retest. How you get the retest is you find the 127% Fibonacci extension. That's where you might see a reversal from. Now, guys, I need you to excuse me for just 1 minute while I get some water. Hold on for a while. Okay, I'm back. All right. Yeah, so dollar yen, I quite like it. Right. For those of you guys who want to know how I got this level, right? Same thing. You start with drawing a support level over here. Right? Then you can drag it further back. Still makes sense. You drag it further back, still makes sense. You drag it even further back, nice level over here. Can I drag it further back from here? Not really, right? It starts to look a little bit messy over here, but I can drag it all the way to here. Okay, now there's a nice little bit of intermediate support over here, but I won't touch on that. Very nice support. So it has broken out of here. So you can see that in this case, right, this is the breakout that has happened. And this is the pullback. I'm guessing that is what you mean, right? Yes, this would be a nice way to get in on a pullback. That is one way. Another way is for the pullback. This was the pullback over here. Okay, you can see when it broke out, it made a pullback. You could have got out over there. If you miss that pullback, right? I think the 127%. You can see price usually touches the 127%, right? The Nike tick reversal we're always talking about. Price tends to touch the 127% before making a short little reversal back down. Okay, so this could be a nice little breakout that we're seeing. In terms of ascending support, right, we can see nice little bit of ascending support pushing prices up, right? Valley, I think you missed my analysis on pound dollar, but you can just rewind it later to check it out. Okay, so if price were to make a breakout from here, how high can it go? Okay, key resistance level, not that key, but I'll probably put it over here. This would probably be the first resistance I'm going to play to, but I would highlight that this over here could be an intermediate resistance level because price did reverse off it quite nicely, right? Dotted. Yeah, but what we could be seeing for dollar yen is that, you know, price could come up all the way to here, right? A little bit of drop before bounce. Okay, let's see. Ichimoku, you know, still a little bit of bullish momentum that might take it upwards. All right, so that is our view on dollar yen. Can price go up to correct the imbalance? Right. Depends. What do you define as imbalance? Right. Springfall. Yeah. It depends what you define as imbalance. Right. Is it a how do you define imbalance rather? Okay. Now, was there a request for Aussie dollar? If there's no request, let me see. Is it worth covering? No, Aussie dollar is not worth covering. I think it's a little bit messy. Kiwi dollar. Okay, what I like about Kiwi dollar, right, is that what I like about Kiwi dollar, in the interest of time, right, we can see that Kiwi dollar, like we have that little bit of descending resistance, pushing price lower, you know, continue to go lower, and this key level over here, right, this key level that price just broke over here, very, very nice, right, very, very nice. Once it's broke this level, so you can see, same thing, it makes a pullback, right? This is the pullback that it did. So you could potentially play the move from here all the way down. Okay, you could play the move all the way down. Risk level is the 50% Fibonacci, right? That price seems to have bounced off, but we could see, right, if price were to break this level over here, right, it could drop to the first support down here. Because you look at it, it's a free fall. There is nothing over here that is going to catch you, right, until the next support level over here. So what I always like is that once a breakout happens, right? So maybe to expand a little bit on the question that I had earlier, right, by Uptown Desmond, right? Is that really a name? Right, Uptown Desmond is that once a breakout occurs, you want to see directly in front of you, once the breakout happens, is there any key levels blocking the breakout from really taking off in one direction? In this case, right, in Kiwi dollar, right, once the breakout happens, there's a little bit of resistance over here, but otherwise, you know, it looks like a pretty much a free fall to the first support level. Okay, I'll take a look at gold, right? Let's take a look at dollar yen. There's a massive bearish candle. Oh, you mean this bearish candle, right? I think a way to look at it is like we call pullback and overlap supports. You could say that, right, the next key level for it to rise to is over here, right? Now, I think there's always a potential. Easy for me to say that there's a potential for it to come here. But remember, before it can come to this level over here, right, it needs to break through this level first. Our analysis, right? Our analysis is based on forecasting from one level to another level. All right. So you must think about it as like a weather forecast, right? This could be, right? This could be a 1 day forecast, right? You know, for you to come here, a weather forecast. But if I were to forecast it to come all the way up to here, right? This might be a 1 week forecast, right? So yeah, you know, it can happen 1 week later, but the accuracy is a lot lower, because what happens if price reacts off here, reacts off here, and starts to fluctuate in between here, right? You know, so that changes our forecast. So remember that, you know, yeah, I can call the move up to here, right? But, you know, it first needs to get past this level. All right, so we need to see what happens as it tests this level, you know, and tests this level. If it tests multiple times and it finally breaks out, pullback, yes, it can come all the way up to here, right? But first, it must break this first resistance, right? So you don't get too carried away, you know, forecasting too far away, right? Let's see, at least for next 1 week, right? Every week we come back here, every week we review, right? What's going to happen for next 1 week, whether it's able to come and break the 102 level, 102.05, all right? No problem, right? So yeah, let's okay, dollar cat nothing. Gold. Let's take a look at gold. Yeah. So my view, right? My view on gold, right? There is a nice little bit of trend line support over here, right? 3 very, very nice touches, right? You got one nice touch here, another nice touch here, another nice touch. Now, in terms of the support level, draw one level over here, can drag it back, right? Now this is where it gets a little bit tricky, right? It looks like, I can't drag it back to here, but it looks like if I put it over here, there's a nice little bit of support level. So in this kind of situations, right, I will use this as I'll use like a dotted line below one, and I'll do a solid line at another part over here, right? And we got a nice little bit of support, what I call a support area over here. In terms of Ichimoku, right, you can see price is testing the Ichimoku support over here, right? You can see it's testing is right in the middle of the clouds, right? So what we have for us is that we have a nice big cloud, we have a nice big overlap support, and we got a nice big trend line support. Okay, we got three really nice bullish signs over here, right? In terms of intermediate resistance, probably over here, right? I might even call this like intermediate resistance. If it breaks this level, we could see price rise up very nicely to this level up here, right? Although personally, I'll put it at about over here. This will be the first resistance, right? But it first needs to break this level, right? What could happen is that we could see price like this, and then it break up towards here. Okay, it break up towards here. Very nice setup, right? We got the nice Ichimoku cloud, we got nice ascending support, and we got a nice overlap support. Now I'm just going to take a look at the RSI, where the RSI is over here. No bullish divergence yet. I was hoping to see a little bit of bullish divergence. That'll be a very nice confirmation for us, but there's no bullish divergence on RSI. Is there a bullish divergence on stochastic? Right? No, not really. No bullish divergence. But the previous big bounces that occurred seem to happen around this level over here, right? The big bounces that seem to occur seem to happen around this level. So we could very well see a nice little bounce over here. A little bit sus, right? But yeah, if it does bounce, it could rise up quite nicely. So this would be a view on gold. Okay. Now we have Aussie dollars analysis. Sorry, Kelvin. I think Aussie dollar is not that clear, right? I find a nice support over here, right? Yeah, I find a nice little support level over here. I might highlight this area as a support area. I might find this area as a support area, right? And this has a resistance, right? But honestly, I think the view on Aussie dollar is not that great. It's not as clear as Kiwi, right? This would be the big resistance level. First resistance over here, and first support over here, right? What could happen? What I think could happen is that we could see a reversal from here. We could see a reversal from here down to here. If it breaks this level, it could drop down further to here. Okay, right. So this would probably be the key resistance level I'm looking at. Ichimoku is not really helping that much, right? But yeah, in line with what we're seeing with Kiwi dollar, there's and how correlated Aussie dollar and Kiwi dollar is, we could see a nice little reversal for price to drop down for this week instead. Okay. Now, last one, right, is the NASDAQ. Do I have NASDAQ? Oh, yeah, NASDAQ over here. All right, last analysis on NASDAQ. Let's take a look at it. Let's go to weekly time frame, see if I'm missing out anything. Okay, on the weekly time frame, worth highlighting, there's a big resistance level, probably somewhere about over here, right? Which is likely a little bit hard to identify on the daily time frame, right? But there is a big resistance over here, right? No doubt that on the weekly time frame, this is a big level. Daily time frame, we can fine tune it a little bit more to be up here, but the weekly time frame, I do think that it could be over here, right? We could fine tune it a little bit up to here, right? But here is fine. Here is fine. Well, Nasdaq's a little bit tough though. I mean, it's just rising. It's just rising. I really can't make a good call on NASDAQ. Yeah. But oh yeah, guys, if you can, please help me smash the like button. It really help us. Help us smash the like button. It helps the YouTube algorithm. It helps us get the video discovered more. I really appreciate it, right? I think first resistance, if I were to play the move, I'll probably look to play the reversal from here. I'll look to play the reversal from here. This area over here, right, to play the reversal down to here for NASDAQ, right? That'll probably be what I'm looking to do, okay? So a question from Uptown Desmond, right? So where to put the stop losses after breakout, right? So this is not a trading recommendation, but if I use this example, right, maybe like let's just use Kiwi dollar, right? If I have another resistance over here, right, I would put my stop loss, right? You always put your stop loss slightly beyond, right? So if I have a resistance here, right, I might put my stop loss about over here. All right, I'm just going to use the stop loss maybe like purple, right? I'll probably have like, instead of putting the stop loss directly here, I might put it slightly beyond, just to give it a little bit of breathing space, right? Putting it over here is for the people who are more conservative. You always put your stop loss, right, slightly beyond the next resistance level or the next support level, right? So in this case, either over here for if you're riskier, you know, if you have a more conservative approach, and this is where you highlight your next resistance is, right? Then you can put your stop loss so-called over there. Now, let's go through some examples, right? If it was Ethereum, right, and I identify this as a key support level, I would probably put my stop loss, you know, not over here because price might touch this level. I'll probably put it slightly beyond over here. Give it a little bit of breathing space. So it's always nice when there's a next key support level that is so close. What is difficult, right? What is difficult is in situations like, okay, in this case, right? Right. So in this example, right, if I put my resistance level, my next resistance level over here, right, this is my second resistance level, then where I could put my stop loss, right, it probably be slightly beyond this level, right? You want to get a good risk to reward, right, when you're taking the trade over here, right? The tighter you keep your stop loss, the better your profit will be. Yeah, the better your risk to reward will be. All right, so it's just like this, right? You know, you just put a short position, right? This will be the last thing I'll be talking about, right? So you put a short position over here, right? Look at this, your risk to reward is 1:1. If you tighten your stop loss, you tighten your stop loss all the way down to here, your risk to reward is now 3.36, right? So the tighter you put your stop loss, you know, the better the market rewards you more with the accuracy, right? So the tighter you put your stop loss, the better your risk to reward. One trade can help you make 5 trades worth of money, right? So you risk 1%, you make 5% in this example, right? So yeah, the market rewards accuracy exponentially, all right? That's what you need to know. Okay, guys, but anyway, thank you for staying throughout today's session, right? I really appreciate you wherever you're tuning in from, whether it's very late or very early, right? Thank you for tuning in to today's session, right? It's nice catching you guys once again after my Melbourne break, right? I hope to catch you guys next week, right? Do feel free to leave the comments here on whether you found it useful and any additional feedback that you have for us. I'll be glad to take a look at it. All right, nice to have you guys back. All right, thank you, Nick. Thank you, David. Thank you, Kelvin, Yamilu, Uptown. Right. Yes, we will review our calls next week and see how it goes. Right. But until then, you know, stay safe, trade safe, and peace out, guys. Peace out. Thank you very much, guys. Yeah. Thank you. Gonna get some sleep now. Hey, good morning. It's like freaking 5 a.m., right? Yeah. See you guys. Okay. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, David. Thank you, Daria. See you guys.